Hey guys, Commander Keen here with another Ground Branch video. Today we're going to do a dive into the customization options available within this game. You can customize everything from your operator's clothing and its color, the gear you're wearing, where all your pouches and kit are laid out, and of course your weaponry. So let's take a look at that. Alright, so now we're in the Customize Operator screen and you can see that we've got our bare bones operator over here. Now from here, there is a number of different options we have as far as customization goes. As you can see, we've got the name set, you've got a couple different faces to choose from, you've got facial hair. You should always select a beard because if you don't, you're going to be less tactical, and that's a fact. We also have our weapons kit here, where you can see we have a primary, secondary, and a special purpose. This is not available in the pre-alpha yet, so keep an eye out for that when it does come out. First things first, let's start with our weapons. So we're going to select our primary weapon, and from here you can see we have several categories. We've got SMGs, shotguns, assault rifles, dedicated marksman rifles, and light machine guns. So for the purposes of this, let's pop into assault rifles and find everybody's favorite, the Mark 18. So the game comes with a pre-built version of each of these guns right off the bat, something that the devs have put together just to kind of get you started. So if you want, you can just start running with one of those and you're away to the races. If you're someone like me who wants to customize these a little more, well, that's where we can start to have some fun. Now from here you can see that we have a number of options up in the top right here. We've got attachments, and we've got lights and lasers, rails and mounts, sights, underbarrel, muzzle, and magazines and ammo. The first one we're going to go into is lights and lasers, everybody's favorite. You can see we have two variants of the PEC 15 and a bunch of different weapon lights, and then finally a visible laser. Now let's go ahead and place one of these on our rifle. Each one of the attachments in this game will pull up a little user interface kind of thing where you'll see these white dots here. These white dots represent positions where you can attach any of these items. So if you don't see a white dot, then you aren't able to place it there, but if you do see the white dot, then the sky is the limit. So in the case of this PEC box, let's throw it on the side here and mount it a little farther up front, just as an example. So you can do a full 3D look around of this rifle so you can kind of get a better idea of what it would look like placed in different spots. So up top, yeah, you know what, I like that, let's roll with that. So yeah, anywhere you see these white dots, feel free to move your attachments to wherever you find it, and then you just simply release your mouse button and it is placed. Now that we've got our laser on there, let's go ahead and toss a light on. I'm going to grab this Surefire M300C, make sure that it looks good, because looking good is half the battle. I'm not going to throw a laser on because we've already got a laser on the PEC box, so let's move down to rails and mounts and check out what's down here. Down here we've got offset rails in case you're the kind of guy that wants to put an offset light or a optic or something like that. There's the EBR extended riser, which isn't overly applicable here. We've got rail panels if you're the kind of guy that likes a nice clean looking Picatinny rail. We've got risers if you want to bump up optic height to clear PEC boxes or anything like that. You can pretty much go nuts with this stuff as far as you want. Within the realms of reality, of course. I don't think it's intended to do anything super ridiculous, but as you can see from here, I can double stack some risers if I really want to. So the devs really went out of their way to make sure that the customization was infinite for us here. Okay, what rifle would be complete without an optic on it? Let's pop down to sights and see what we have. We have AccuPower sights with a 1 to 8 low-powered variable optic. We've got a night vision scope, then we've got iron sights, and then all kind of the traditional and well-known red dot sights, holographic sights, all that. You have various heights of aimpoint T1s and T2s, Trijicon MRO, an actual full-out rifle scope, You've got RMRs, we've got the LCAN 1-4. Oh, sorry, the Spectre DR. Forgot that not everybody's Canadian. And my personal favorite in the game, the EOTech Voodoo 1-6. So we're going to throw that on. Here's an option here. The Voodoo, you can see, has a flat top, so we can actually toss an RMR up there if we really want to. Now we have a very capable yet handy rifle setup. Moving now to the underbarrel attachments, you can see that we have a bunch of different grip options here. With a bipod as well, you can see that they make a note that it is non-functional. At its current state in the game, the bipods aren't functional, so don't expect to be able to do anything with them quite yet, but that feature is coming. As I mentioned before, here's the white dots that show us the places where it's applicable to throw our grip, so we can drop an angled grip. My personal favorite in real life is actually the RVG. However, I kind of want to roll with an angled grip on this one. Probably right about there. I think that looks alright. Color customizations aren't quite here yet, but I do believe that's something that's probably coming in the near future. Now that we've got a cool grip on our gun, let's make sure we turn our attention to the muzzle, where we have a couple suppressor options. We'll go with black on this one just to kind of match the rest of our furniture. And then finally, moving down to magazines and ammo, you can see that there are a couple different options here so far. You can have the standard metal Stanag magazines, you can go with a 35 round PMag, or you can go with just your average everyday PMag, which is my personal preference, but your mileage may vary. Now that our rifle's done and looking good, you can go ahead and hit that apply button, and it's going to ask you to make a build name for this. So in this case, Mark 18 Mod 1, and then this long number that doesn't mean anything, so we will call this Mark 18 Mod 1 Test for the purpose of this video. Go ahead and hit OK, and now you can see that when you open up your menu and search through all your Mark 18s, this one is an option. Now we won't go too in depth on the other on the secondaries, because I feel like you guys get the idea, but there's a number of secondaries here to choose from that you can do the same thing with. You can customize them to your heart's desire. We've got lights and lasers, muzzle devices, and various magazines. You can see here that I've got this M9 pretty done up. Not my personal favorite in the game, but it is a lot of fun to just come in and just tweak different weapons and test them out and see which ones you find to be your favorite. Alright, now that our weapons are sorted out, let's take a look at the actual gear. Now, starting from the top with headgear, you can see that we have a number of different helmet options available to us, hats as well. My personal favorite is to roll with a helmet, just for aesthetic reasons, and you can see that you have just a base helmet to choose from, and then also here's one set up as a build. So just like your weapons, your gear will save as quote-unquote builds. So the default for this high cut helmet here is a snakeskin arid camo, but we can go in, change the color to anything we want. So for the purpose of this, let's just change it to black. Now we can go down to our platform, which is going to be our body worn system. We have an assault vest, pardon me, a chest rig, and a couple plate carriers. You can see that I have a couple plate carrier builds done already, but let's go ahead and just select the base one. You can see here, again, you can change the color. Let's go woodland because it's God's plaid and everybody loves that. From here you can customize just as we did our weapons. So it'll zoom in for us, and you can see that now we have options. We have ammunition, grenades, and equipment. Down here you can see these are highlighted. These are dual PMag primary magazines. Up here we've got some grenade pouches. We can drag and drop these anywhere we want. It's purely for aesthetics. Doesn't really have an impact on the game as I've seen so far. We can move our binocular pouch around. So again, any of these white dots, drag and drop your stuff over, and that's where you can load up your gear. Now if you don't want this many magazines, you can just drag them off of your character, and as we do this you can see that our stats changed. Our loadout down here no longer has ammo, grenades, or miscellaneous. So if we come back in, select ammo, and drop a couple PMag pouches on here, let's just throw them there for now. and we come back out, you can see now that our loadout has changed. Now we've got 6 magazines on us because we've got 2, 4, and 6 in our pouches. So from here, you can kind of get a pretty good idea of the amount of customization that you're able to do, not only aesthetically, but as far as your actual kit loadout goes. You can set yourself up pretty much any way you want with any of the items or gear in the game. Now coming down to our belt line, you can see that it is the same thing. You select your battle belt here, and you can see that it's given us a standard loadout, but we can also change that. You can see that we can remove pouches. We can add pouches for grenades. We've got all our various type of grenades in here. We've got all the different ammo types in the game. A tip is, if you're going to switch back and forth from weapons a lot, don't put these specific magazine types on your belt line. Just go primary ammo and secondary ammo. It'll save you a lot of hassle trying to switch back and forth if you want to move from an AR to an AK or an MP5 or something like that. Primary and secondary ammo will just automatically detect what you're using and load you appropriately. Do not make the same mistake I did, where you switch from an AK to an MP5 and you go into a match with 1 magazine. Now from here you can see that we have various types of eyewear we can equip on our character. We have different masks, we have different upper body outfits that you can set up. All of these you can change colors on, your pants, your gloves. Same thing, your holster. There's only one type of holster in the game for now. Looks like a Safariland 6354 DO to me. But you can change the color on it. So the amount of customization available here, both in terms of your playstyle, your gear, your actual functional loadout, as well as just aesthetics, is astounding, to be honest. The ability to place your kit wherever you want on your rifle and not just be stuck with wherever the game decides it should go, is something that gun lovers and gear lovers like myself absolutely love, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts of this game. Alright guys, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to go over for the customization aspects of this game. We went over our guns, we went over our gear, we went over some kind of cosmetic stuff. That pretty much covers it. I don't want to go too crazy because I want to let you guys kind of play around with it yourself to see what looks good, what works for you. Keep in mind that different missions require different gear. Some weapon setups are going to work better for you depending on the mission that you're on, the team that you're with, your play style, kind of all that stuff. So it's something that you really need to experience for yourself and play around with yourself. I can't tell you what the best kit is because it's personal preference. But I did want to show you where to go to find it all and kind of how to manipulate it so you can get to that point yourself. So I really hope that this video has helped someone. I hope this helps get you into the game. If you're not in there already, you're really missing out. I recommend hurrying up because the price is going to go up soon. A very fair price raise, in my opinion, for a game of this caliber, especially where it's at right now, and the fact that it's only going to get better. As always, if you guys want to support the channel, you can drop me a like, follow, subscribe here. You can check me out on Twitch, twitchtv.com/CommanderKeen. I'm on live every Monday and Wednesday night, So feel free to come and check out some more content there, and keep an eye on this channel for more Ground Branch help videos. Have a good one, guys. May all your rooms be corner fed.